up, guys? Euclid back here with you again. Holy shit, I'm about to quit Adobe. I have been fighting with it for so long. I've been fighting with it back and forth. I cannot get the software to work properly. So I found a way through a helpful person who managed to get Windows Movie Maker to work the way he wanted it to get it to basically get my videos to the settings that need to be on YouTube. So I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to use Windows Movie Maker, and I'm probably going to cancel my subscription to Adobe because I've been paying like, you know, $25 a month to get an application whose software is not properly updated because Adobe doesn't give a fuck because they're too big for their own good. So, moving on from that, let's jump back into where we last left off.
Fanatics on the banks of Volca, cannibals in the mountain bunker, slavers on the shores of the dried-out sea. How many monsters has the war given rise to? Or perhaps were they always there? And the war simply gave them a chance to show themselves, and now we're stuck with them forever. Regardless, we can't afford to lose hope. We are getting ever closer to our dream. Finding a place where we could live, free from radiation and mutants. The maps we recovered in the desert have provided us with several promising options. And now the crew members are excitedly waiting for the Colonel's decision on where the Aurora should go next. Currently, though, the train is calmly rolling eastward. The crew rests, and Stepan proposed to Katya. It was a proposal she couldn't refuse.
You think about it, too. They haven't known each other for that long, but think about all the shit they're going through. Everything is escalated. Life is not kosher. They've been at war for so long, and when you're at war, things are escalated, things happen quickly. And I'm only saying this because I've spoken to people who have been to war. Friends of mine, people I served with in my previous career, and that was not military, so I'm not pretending to be that. It was law enforcement. So, but people that you previously had served with and would talk about it. Things happen quick, and it's not just because of emotion. It's because you don't know what's going to happen next, and you try to live life to your fullest. And I think that's where Stefan is really this story's equivalent of the Spetsnaz. Is everything every day could be his last. He's almost died multiple times. So it's pretty cool to see it. It's good to be fucking back, and you can expect regular content from here on out, as long as my software holds up. It's not that I'm a complete idiot and I don't know how to use it. It's more that I just really don't like to sit for 3 to 4 hours just to figure stuff out, because I'm not naturally inclined to do that. I'm sorry it's been so long, but not anymore. Let's get back into it. Ooh, Exodus Blues. I love this. Anything with the classic Metro style behind it. Oh, hello. Yep. Everybody's... Fair enough. Yeah, I know what that cigarette's about.
Damn coughing. We've left those sands long ago. And it still persists. What does Crest even smoke? It's terrible. In any case, I'm better now.
I hate to interrupt, guys, but you should come to the mess hall. The table is almost served.
Thanks, Stepan. We'll be there in a moment. Shall we go, Artyom? Or shall we stay a little longer? It's so nice.
I don't know, this is the point in leaving.
Artyom, I've been looking at Stepan and Katya, you and me, and thinking how lucky we are. It was so different with my parents. It was bad. Did I ever tell you why my mom died?
Oh, yikes.
Of course I didn't. It was because of Dad. He used to be even harsher back then. He used to come home from the barracks and reach for the bottle while taking off his boots. They'd quarrel, and then he'd stop appearing for a time. And while he was away, she'd start drinking too, and crying when she was sober. She'd feel better, would get kinda dreamy when drunk. You know how she used to call me? Just A.
Yeah, from the
She'd
books.
hug me and say, "One day, A, you and I are going to go to Vladivostok, the city I was born in. And from there to a village on the ocean shore." I was 5 back then and didn't really get much. But I could imagine that village and the ocean so vividly because I believed her. And then she killed herself. Drank some kind of poison. Father quit drinking after Mom's death. Didn't ever pay much attention to me, but with her gone, he'd never leave me alone. Took me along everywhere. We only talked about her a couple of times, though. I used to have this doll, Jana. I played make-believe that she was my daughter, and we went to the ocean together. Then my father hid it. Told me it got lost. He probably didn't want me to agonize over Mom's dream. Then I imagine she grew up and went to Vladivostok. And now I'm going. Not to Vladivostok, but with you. The dream came true. By the way, I was always intrigued by what Dad dreams about. He should have some dreams, so what are they? Higher rank? He could choose any. Saving people? What would the saved do next? Sit underground? I never understood him. What does he hope for in life? What makes him happy?
My guns.
Nothing, perhaps. He never really had any time to think about tomorrow. Down in the metro, those thoughts don't come casually.
Nope.
Here on the surface, though. I, for one, have something I want to do. I want to run through the sand barefoot. Build a sandcastle for the kids. I'm imagining two. A boy and a girl. The boy would be a copy of you. We'd go swimming with mountains behind us. Wooden houses on the shore. The sun would wake us up every day, rising from the ocean. That harbor is our destination. Worth going there even if we have half the world to cross. Everyone should have a destination. A point on the map where they aspire to go, and where one could finally be happy. All our guys have their own. We broke out of the metro and are now starting to scatter. Not at once, of course. At first, we're all still running together, searching. But eventually, each of us will find a point like this and stay there.
Yep.
I don't know where my dad's destination is. Don't know where yours is either. But I know I love you. A whole lot.
Well, it's worth staying for the
Go,
comfort.
Artyom. I'll rest some more and join you later.
All scarred up from the battle she's been in. That was a good talk. I'm sure they needed the catching up. Okay. I really want to do an observation of the room because I never really take the time to do this as I used to. There's a clock up there. Of course, this is the gun cabinet. Here's our desk. We've got notes and probably radio transmissions to listen to, I bet. We'll check that out in a second. So my question is, these are supported bunks. Is that a supported bunk too? That'd be crazy. And this is just a desk. It's a lift up there, fan. Not saying collectibles. 1980. What does it say on the calendar there, guys? It says right there on the calendar in the blue below the picture. But yeah, I have so much stuff in my software I had to fix. I'm so sorry it took so long. Look at these pictures. Destinations. These are postcards we've collected. So we're missing some, obviously, by now. I'm sure I'm missing at least one or two. But that's fine. I'm not here to be a completionist. I'm here to enjoy the story as much as I can. We had our conversation with Anya. What does that record say? Hard to tell. Let's pop a squat. Alrighty. A light. Let's take a second to appreciate this. Okay. We can look at the journal, right? And you can see it. But turn on the light. I mean, it's obvious, but not a lot of places would give a shit. And see, now it's just so plain. Yamantau. I don't think I ever read this. We've read these 2 paragraphs of Yamantau, but not the 3rd one. It says here, what's stopping the government from restoring the country? What was being done in the last 20 years? Miller believes that we'll get all the answers. He'll be pardoned as well, and then we'll all return home to the metro. Okay. Yeah, that was to the Yamantau. Now, but to this part... Oh, shit, we haven't read any of this. So this is, okay, a new section. Here we go. Giuls turned out to be an informal leader of the local resistance movement, or rather the whole movement, despite lack of active support from the enslaved locals. She had been fighting against their subjugators for years, having become somewhat of a legend amongst the slaves and their masters alike. The slaves would all but pray to her. The slavers hated and feared her like the devil. No wonder that once they finally found her refuge in an old lighthouse, they besieged it at once. We would, of course, gladly help Giuls in her struggle for the freedom of her people, but first we had to find the satellite communications center, and that's where we're meeting the lady. Proved really fortunate, as she knew the location of the bunker. Her mother used to work there before the war, and Giuls told us that the center kept functioning for several years after the nuclear strike exchange, compiling the fallout maps so that going down there to get them was definitely going to be worth it. I managed to find the maps and deliver them to the base. Decoding them required time, but we had more pressing issues at that moment. Most of the crew members were down due to heat and dehydration, and the Aurora didn't have enough fuel and water left to even get moving. The local kingpin, the Baron, had it all, but was none too eager to share. Considering our desperate situation and our past experience negotiating with the bandits, the colonel decided to take what was needed by force, starting with the only freshwater source in the vicinity, where we could steal a full Bowser truck. That was fucking hilarious. I loved when we did that. But at that moment, I just couldn't take the risk. The fate of the Aurora's crew depended on me, and I had to choose between family and strangers. At the entrance to the cave town, which was the only way to the water spring, I met up with Demir. He seemed to have changed, as if he had finally accepted forgotten roots he'd been denying for so long. At first he felt no connection to the unfortunate subjugated people whom he shared blood with, but that would gradually change with every extra hour he spent in the desert. He was eager to see the cave town, but it proved to be a disappointment. Still, we were able to reach the spring. Yeah, the cave town where a lot of them used to live. Of course, I couldn't just be on my way once I found the prison ship, where the bandits were holding their prisoners, methodically beating the will out of them to turn them into obedient slaves. The bandits did guard their chattel, but it looked like they were only concerned with stopping the escape attempts at least. I didn't have too much trouble freeing the prisoners, and in my eyes that had instantly made our trip to the godforsaken desert worth it. The bandits were guarding the spring quite well, and to take the truck out, we had to open the gate of the fort they built to protect it. The operation was complicated by the fact that besides the bandits, the fort housed quite a few of their slaves. Luckily, we were able to succeed without excessive bloodshed. While Demir and I were busy with the water Bowser, the Baron's forces attacked the Aurora. Even having repelled the Baron's attack, we were still stuck in the desert without fuel, so while the others were preparing the Aurora for departure, Giuls, Demir, and I were to sneak into the oil terminal and steal the railway tank full of fuel. We were intending to open the gate from the inside, hook the tank up to the rail car, and roll it out before any of the Baron's men noticed anything. Getting to the tank proved tricky, as the oil terminal was teeming with slaves and their overseers. Still, I managed to carry the first part of the plan out without bloodshed. The second part of the plan went south, though. We ended up trapped, and the Baron decided to be magnanimous, offering that we become his vassals. His plan didn't work. While we were drawing his attention, Giuls bombed his fortress, and Anna punctuated his career. Your head's in the way, aren't you? Wherever we go, we keep finding the same tyrants, fanatics, cannibals, rapists, murdering each other enthusiastically or having gained in power, oppressing everybody else ruthlessly. Is war to be blamed for this, or did it just free them from the constraints of civilization? Did we become monsters, or were we always like this? I had hoped we'd become people again on the surface, but that hope wanes every day. Veins with every day. Then again, anywhere we went, we also met real people. Selfless, brave, humane people who could have led others to peace and freedom. People like Giuls, people like us, and the common folk. It's not their fault, they just lack the courage to fight the oppressors. Still, we did all we could to free the people of this sun-scorched desert, and Giuls won't let them forget this example. It is a pity we can't stay. A shame that Demir couldn't find any trace of his relatives, but his family, his real home is here, on the Aurora. Okay, so we already read summer. Crew. Even in the Caspian Desert, where most of our people were down with dehydration, the colonel persevered. He continued coordinating operations, issuing orders, and even gave his share of water to the soldiers, while continuing to search for redemption. There and then, Miller finally accepted the fact that the war was long over, and there were no occupying forces. He even seemed to accept the fact that his days of glory were over, with only quiet sunset years and some backwater ahead. The only thing he wouldn't accept, no matter what, was the danger his daughter's life was in. Outliving Anna was the most terrifying prospect he had ever faced. Yeah. Oh, second addition to Demir. Having discovered the state that his people sharing half of his blood were in on the shores of the dried-up sea, Demir changed. He did everything in his power to set them free. But eventually, it was time to live. Maybe it was leave. It meant to be time to leave. It's time to leave. Besides the blood of his father's ancient nomadic people, there's Spartan blood in Demir's veins, and its call proves stronger. Right from the start, he gave us... This is for Crest. Right from the start, he gave us the hand with fixing the Aurora, gave us the rail car he'd been using in his adventures, and then went on with us on a mission to capture the tugboat, giving Duke and me the cover we'd needed to infiltrate the bridge. It's no wonder that even our usually cautious colonel had no second thoughts about welcoming Crest into the crew. Ooh. Katya and Nastya. I can't really imagine what Katya and Nastya had been going through after they had managed to keep their sanity, and how they managed to keep their sanity, much less remain as optimistic as they are. A little girl and a tender woman proved to be tougher than fate, taking all the blows it could throw at them squarely, and those blows were many and mighty. They had arrived at Volga with a group of migrants who were out on a quest for a better life. That quest ended with them finding a new faith, and their death along with it. Of course, Salantius didn't kill anyone himself. He didn't even order anyone killed. Still, his holy ritual where an initiate must dispose of an electrical anomaly to be accepted into the fold. How is it different from a murder in cold blood? It's no wonder that the colonel let Stefan and Anna coax him into letting Katya know. Okay, so we've read this part. Katya really is amazing. If not for her efforts, our crew was bound to stay forever in the Caspian sands. We survived in the metro tunnels. We won the Battle of D6. We survived where anybody else would die. But dehydration and infections in the desert had almost done us in. Stefan, despite all of his strength and resilience, would have definitely died there had Katya not nursed him back to health. It seems she would have never forgiven herself had she not been able to. Katya herself, however, she suffered from the heat and never let that show. Driven by her example, Nastya not only didn't whine in the slightest, but did her best to help her mother tend to the sick. What in the world would we have done without them? You would have died. Okay. This is for Stefan, our badass heavy gunner. For saving her, Katya repaid Stefan in kind. In the Caspian Desert, Stefan got so ill he couldn't even walk, much less fight. He almost died from dehydration. If not for Katya, he would have been dead for sure. Yeah, Katya's awesome. He would have been dead for sure. He knew whom to thank for his life, and as soon as he was able to get up, he immediately fell to one knee and proposed. Search wherever you can. You'd never find a better husband for Katya and stepfather for Nastya. He's been spending so much time with the girl, making toys for her and answering her constant questions about everything, that Nastya had already called Stefan Dad several times by that time. Now that Katya was officially his wife, beholding their family's happiness was a true sight for the sore eyes. At least, someone will be able to have a proper family in future. A pity, this doesn't seem likely for Anna and me. Ooh. Sam, I don't think we read this last part. All of us, the crew members, are going somewhere, to some kind of destination, as Yermak puts it. Even though none of us know where that destination would be. Sam, though, seems to know the place. If the world outside of Metro is not wiped out, there must be survivors in the U.S. And Sam can't stop thinking about his parents who might still be alive, waiting for their son. I wonder if he feels he's traveling in the right direction with us. I'm sure he is. I mean, they saved him, so why wouldn't he? While we were waiting for the Aurora's repairs to be completed, thinking on how to cross the river, Sam, in light of our constant mentions of occupying forces, hypnotized himself into believing that the colonel didn't trust him. It must be heartbreaking to have served a commander for 20 years with unquestioning loyalty, only to be considered a traitor, but it must be equally heartbreaking to have become so close to your old enemy, only to learn that your country might still be there after all. And if the war is still going on, whose side are you on, Sam? Who are you? Anything new for idiot? I don't think there's anything new for any of them. Nope. New world. Cannibals. Yeah, this is about the Yamantau cannibals. The cannibals residing in the Yamantau complex seem to suffer from heavy cerebral damage caused by an infectious disease they contracted through their diet. Yeah, they just went insane by eating human flesh, basically. So their words are barely legible. Still, they are exceptionally determined in pursuing their prey, and complete disregard of their own safety makes them a dangerous enemy indeed. Tribals. The local population of the Caspian Desert, ruthlessly subjugated by a tyrannical criminal empire. The tribals are mostly young and serve their masters willingly, remaining servile and dedicated to them no matter what terrible oppression. They are prepaid for their service, with all tribals are devout followers of the cult of the Holy Flame, instituted by the Baron. Their adherence to the tenets of faith being brutally enforced by their masters to keep them under control. Svarog oil. Svarog oil? The criminal empire ruling the portion of the Caspian Desert we visited. Nice. Was controlled by a supreme ruler called the Baron, using the largest oil rig in the area as his seat of power apparently. Apparently, the Baron's climb to power started within Svarog Oil, an oil drilling company that had been controlling all of the oil extraction in the area when the war broke out. Oh shit, so he was already in power. Okay, so this is just like descriptions on the creatures. Czarfish. Look at this. Generally, a giant mutant catfish terrorizing the fishermen would seem to be a dubious object of worship at best, but Salantia still managed to indoctrinate the locals he'd brainwashed into believing the monster was sent to the earth with a divine mission. It's just a mutated catfish. Jesus. There's a description for the dog, even. The common dogs seem to be no match for the messed up world of the surface, but they manage to survive despite being surrounded by mutants and human enemies, so they definitely are a threat to be considered, especially when you consider their keen senses and ability to easily alert their masters to your presence. Spider bug male. These dwellers of abandoned tunnels and other dark places, of which there is no shortage in our world, are extremely aggressive, agile, strong, and well-armored. They're assholes, too. Making them tough opponents when they're nasty in the tunnels. Oh, that was awful. When you consider their tendency to live and hunt in packs, they become veritable nightmare fuel. Their only real weakness, although a tremendous one, is light. Even a mere flashlight can make them thrash about in a panic and die in seconds. So this one is the same description, but this one has a difference. The females of the species tend to be armored even better than their male counterparts, but prefer to stay at a certain distance from their prey, at least until they disable it with wads of web they shoot with amazing power and accuracy. Same weakness mentioned. And then the lurker. While lurkers are far from being the strongest or the meanest mutants around, either in the metro or on the surface, they are still a danger to be considered, especially for a lonely wanderer. They are a colonial burrowing species. As such, they protect themselves from the larger predators by constructing lots of interconnecting burrows in close proximity to each other and hiding in them if sufficiently threatened, while keeping the surroundings under constant observation in search for danger or potential prey. When in a lurker-infested area, you can never guess which burrow a bloodthirsty creature might appear from, though you can bet it will most often be the one you're not looking at. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. Equipment, we got weapons. Tikhar. I don't think I've ever read this one either. Frankly speaking, I didn't recognize the Tikhar was a weapon when I saw it for the first time, and it took me some time to believe that it really could function. Even so, this remarkably ugly masterpiece of the Armory Station's designers, they've been working into making by the eternal shortage of ammo, has proven to be an been indispensable for the Order's operatives. Not only does Tickar shoot the ubiquitous bearing balls, bearing balls that also practically noiseless, packs a wallop and is quite accurate over short distances naturally. All in all, it is an ideal special operations weapon for the conditions of Metro. Of course, you have to mind not just the ammo in the magazine, but also the air reservoir pressure, though Tokarov has at least improved the valve so that the air does not escape unless you actually shoot the weapon. Besides its pneumatics, Tokarov also improved on Tikkar's ammo, inventing a very effective incendiary round that can be easily made in the field out of 2 bearing balls, an empty amp pile, or a piece of glass tube, a teaspoonful of any fuel, and a chemical initiator. Of course, you can't fit many of these rounds into the weapon magazine, but they are so effective you rarely need more than one at a time. Gatling. I'll have to read these later, maybe. I don't even know. The Bulldog really didn't have a chance to make a name for itself in the numerous wars mankind is so fond of waging before the apocalypse. The weapon's creators intended it to replace its ancestor, the venerable Kalash. Yet mankind was able to neatly wrap its history up without the newcomer's involvement. So the Bulldog started reaping its share of lives after only after the end of the world. I have to give the Bulldog designers credit. It is vastly superior to Kalash in damage output, handling accuracy, has a low rate of fire, making bursts more controllable, and is much lighter to boot. Yet, despite all that, you don't really see these weapons often. The Bulldog is much more complex than Kalash and requires skillful maintenance. It is hardly surprising that most of the survivors prefer its elder brother, the indestructible Kalash. I love the Kalash. Love it, love it, love it. What else we got here? I think that was it. Now time to check out the radio. Let's get this light off. Check the radio. Anything? We're gonna give it a second. No, I don't think there's anything.
Station, come in. Technician here. Station, come in. Over.
There we go.
Station here. Over.
Oh my God, it's Tina. Or did I miss you? Over.
Are you calling just to tell me that? Over.
No. I just didn't expect you to be on radio duty. Here's what I wanted to say. I'm coming back from Nizhny already. How are you guys doing in Cheboksary? Over.
Well, doing all right, considering the radiation and all. Over.
Well, Dina, I see that you're in no mood for chatter today, even though I have news. The locals did end their scuffle after all. Well, I'll tell you more when I'm back. Over.
Not in the mood? It's just that we have news here too, so come over quickly if you don't want to miss all the fun.
I see. I'm gonna run then. Over and out.
Good luck with your marathon. Over and out.
All right. What else we got here?
Come in. It's me, Dimon. Abbas. Where the hell are you? Come in.
Demon, why so much fuss? Why you expect me to answer the second you call?
Because of the frequency we're on? That's why? It's always chatting with fucking ARC project bullshit.
You don't need to worry about that. It's gone now.
Gone? I thought that with so many fools going there and never coming back, it would be going on forever.
I think some fool actually got there. Broke the record and all.
Fat fucking chance of that. I'd say whatever's been gobbling them fools up is just full now and is getting some Z's for digestion.
That may be, but now we can talk here and nobody will know.
Yes,
Stupid.
we can. So, what was that you wanted to talk about?
You hear about that meat? Yes?
I have. Not that I'm invited. I'll just stay here and wait for one of the two bosses to come hire me and my boys. How about you?
Me too, me too. My people, they want some action and fat payout. And this is chance by the Holy Flame. And here, what I want to talk about. How about we work together?
Ah, good thinking. I don't want to fight you anymore.
I don't want to fight you too. And knee still hurts. So, what you say, old friend?
I'm in. We need to talk in person now. A good deal likes privacy, and even though this frequency seems secure...
I love it.
Yes, I
Optional
understand.
dialogue.
Let us meet tomorrow. At the old restaurant, what you say? Huh?
Deal. See you there, Abbas. Over and out.
Rachmat, my friend.
Over and out. See, I love that if we just choose, we can find all this extra dialogue in the game and it makes it 10 times better, so. Alright, what else we got going on here?
Brothers and sisters, the Baron
It's
is
Giuls!
dead. I killed him myself. All of the moonlight
I killed him
warriors
myself?
are confused now.
What a bunch of
Like
shit!
headless chickens. Our day has come. Fight them. Fight them however you can. Come where the Baron's rig used to be. Come and we'll give you weapons. You served those dogs for too long. And what did you get in return? Only cruelty, death, and the holy flame, which I spit at. It is time to chase them away from our land for good now. All of our land, all oil, all food will be ours. Death to the Munai by lair.
Fuck yeah. I love it. I love that she's spreading the message, like her own propaganda to wipe out the rest of their imperialist desert regime. This is awesome. Anything else this way? All right. Leave the radio be, I guess. What's that? Oh, it's Artyom's vest. Not creeping on you, girl, I promise. Here we go. What we got here?
What do you know? Everything is perfect, Artyom. Follow us.
What? Look at all this. Yeah, someone's been drinking.
This is great.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is it, guys? It's the boy.
Yeah, they're not fucking around. There's a party up in here.
That was a great laugh. Thank you, boys.
You have lots of hidden talent.
Sorry for too long. Who's getting cold? I
Things getting hot.
I have to warn you about Stepan. He is incredibly, disgustingly nice and kind-hearted. Yes, no, indeed. I, as a misanthrope of note, am appalled.
I noticed that already. He is incredibly kind.
That's just slander. They are jealous.
Well, Stepan, jealousy is to be expected. Not everyone here is blessed with such an amazing wife, Billy.
Crest is right. I, for one, have positively gone green with jealousy already. Green to the core.
Let's get this off.
Thank you.
Artyom, come on, now take a seat, please. You're making me uncomfortable. Take a seat, have a drink. Take a seat, Artyom. We're lonely without you.
Yes. Now we
What did I miss?
The real saint could be up to
You should have seen them dance.
Don't you worry. You'll get another chance.
A moment of your attention, please. Half a year on the road, and 4,000 clicks behind us. We have been through a lot. All right, people. I do understand I can't keep it a secret much longer. After a careful study of the satellite maps we've obtained, and much deliberation, we've found a place we could call our new home. It is a river valley. There's forest and a hydroelectric power plant.
Yeah.
This place is quite far from densely populated areas, which, as our journey has proved, is important. We're about 2 days away from it now. So, congratulations!
Yeah!
Yet, this is not our last order of business for today. Stepan, Katya.
Oh, Prince!
Stepan, Katya, repeat after me. I take you to be my spouse.
I take you to be my spouse.
And vow to hold you from this day forward.
And vow to
For
hold you
better
from
or
this day
for
forward,
worse.
for better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For
I love the
richer,
music.
for poorer,
In sickness and in
in
health.
sickness and in health.
To love and to
To
cherish
love and to
until
cherish
death
until
do us
death
part.
do us part.
I love it.
As the captain of this ship, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife. Live long and be happy. Oh, and Gorka! Gorka!
Oh,
Oh yeah, she's still fucked up from the bunker, dude. Yeah, not good.
Anna, what's happening?
Be careful, people.
Anna, please hold on.
What's happening? What is it?
What's that cough?
Gotcha. Do something, please.
Don't cow her. Give her air.
Damn.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything.
What are you talking about, baby?
In the Yamantau, when they dragged me away, that ghoul doctor said my lungs were falling apart. The gas I breathed in that ammo dump said I
How
don't
can
have
you
long.
believe that monster? We've just been through a desert and all that sand, so that might be the reason. Katya, Artyom, a few words.
Oh boy.
I'm all right, Artyom. Go. I'm fine now.
No, no, you're not. What? Your face clean. That's
I
a game.
don't know about this. The old man is furious. Oh, Artyom's getting chewed out today.
It's not Artyom's fault. I fell into that stupid bunker all by myself. And if Dad says one word to him about it, I'll tear him a new one.
Yes, this is getting old. As soon as something happens, it's always Artyom's fault, even when he had nothing to do with it. That's just his fate.
Fate? Get out of here.
Yes. In any case, Katya will calm the colonel down. You shouldn't worry either, Anna. She'll fix you in no time at all. She's good.
No doubt about that. You drew the lucky ticket with her.
This is
especially
fucking
you,
awful,
Stepan.
dude.
That's a fact. Thank you, Anna.
Oh god. We better go. Phew.
Careful, tell me, what
Colonel,
do we do
please.
now?
Let us not panic and think constructively.
So, Katya, what do you think?
I think that trusting some degenerate's diagnosis wouldn't be wise. A move from humid metro into the desert with its dry heat and sandstorms is a stress for lungs.
Yes, I do think she'd be hit really bad right off the start had it
My
been
thoughts
gas.
exactly. Thus, first I'll check her condition to the best of my knowledge. Also, we're approaching the valley with its forest air. That alone could heal her.
I'm sorry to intervene, but did something happen?
Anna coughed out some blood.
My God. Do you really think it's the sand? Sounds more like TB to me. That's for sure.
TB we can handle. We've got enough antibiotics, and air does help with that.
What if...
Jesus.
What if that degenerate was right, Katya? What do we do? Is there a medicine?
There was an air defense battery station in our village. Right on the brink of war, they received a new drug. It saved a lot of people after gas exposure and general poisoning. I'll check my mom's records and find its name. I think it was produced in Novosibirsk.
Novosibirsk. Novosibirsk.
Right, Novosibirsk. Yermak, your opinion?
For Anna's sake, I'd go to the edges of the earth. As for Novosibirsk, it's about 2,000 clicks.
Then it's decided. We head for the valley. If it is suitable, we settle there. If Anna's state worsens, I'll take a group of volunteers to find that drug. So Katya, please, find that name for us.
I'll find it, don't worry.
One more thing, Artyom. I want no surprises in that valley. You are our most seasoned scout, so take the rail car, one volunteer, and go check everything out before we arrive. Let's go back for now.
He's like chest
Tell Anna
puffing
and
me
the
out of the
people
way.
to calm down. Poor girl. Now I understand why she was so down lately. Just imagine thinking about all that for so long.
His legs blow my mind.
So, what is the jury's verdict?
Now, here are your orders, everyone. First of all, stay calm. The plan stands. We head for that valley with its fresh air and clean water. Then we go about settling there. If Anna's health...
Dad, please.
I repeat, Anna, in case you start getting worse, there's a drug Katya told us about, so we can go and find it for you, if it is needed.
That sounds like a great plan. I'd also like to say this. Guys, please don't worry. I've been feeling pretty bad as it is for ruining the party.
Oh, come on, you didn't ruin anything.
I just brought myself down to rock bottom over that bastard from Yelantau. Though it must just be the sand and desert climate.
Of course that must be it. We were discussing exactly that just now.
Alright, a toast. To you guys. Just be happy together.
To you! Great toast!
I didn't toast with them because I suck. I sat down too late.
Stefan, will you
Some
play that
bitch.
song about
This
us?
is great!
Easy as pie.
Oh shit! He's gonna play something about us, evidently. About the Rangers. Duke's pose kills me. That cocked eyebrow.
Полковник Васин приехал на фронт со своей молодой женой. Полковник Васин созвал свой полк и сказал им: пойдем домой. Мы ведем войну уже 70 лет, нас учили, что жизнь это бой. Но по новым данным разведки мы воевали сами с собой.
She watches RDM a lot.
Я видел генералов, они пьют и едят нашу смерть. Их дети сходят с ума от того, что им нечего больше хотеть. А земля лежит в ржавчине, церкви смешались с золой. И если мы хотим, чтобы было куда вернуться, время вернуться домой. Этот поезд в огне, и нам не на что больше жать. Этот поезд в огне, и нам некуда больше бежать. Эта земля была нашей, пока мы не увязли в борьбе. Она умрет, если будет ничьей, пора вернуть эту землю себе. А кругом горят факелы, это сбор всех погибших частей. И люди, стрелявшие в наших отцов, строят планы на наших детей. Нас рожали под звуки маршей, нас пугали тюрьмой. Но хватит ползать на брюхе, мы уже возвратились домой. Этот поезд в огне, и нам не на что больше жать. Этот поезд в огне, и нам некуда больше бежать. Эта земля была нашей, пока мы не увязли в борьбе. Она умрет, если будет ничей, пора вернуть эту землю себе. Этот поезд в огне, и нам не на что больше жать. Этот поезд в огне, и нам некуда больше бежать. Эта земля была нашей, пока мы не увязли в борьбе. Она умрет, если будет ничьей, пора вернуть эту землю себе.
This is definitely about us. There's even a colonel in it.
Yes, it is time we took this land back. And one more thing. We don't want surprises like the ones we had on the Volga or in Yamantau. So we're sending a scouting party ahead on a rail car. Artyom needs a volunteer to support him.
Me! Pick me! I'll check the hell out of that valley, please!
Something makes me think that Alyosha is mainly going to check if there are any Amazons or women in general there.
So we're all set. Frankly, I envy you, Stepan. You got a full family, a wife and child at once. And you don't have to worry about diapers or belly aches.
Envy is a bad thing.
We're not the ones to avoid diapers, Colonel. In fact, we're planning to present Nastya with a little brother, if she doesn't object.
I'd rather get a sister. We could play with dolls together. I could care for her.
You could play Sparta in special operations with your brother.
Ah, cut it out, Stepan. God knows we've had enough of operations. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'd like to retire. Time to have some life.
You can't retire yet. You're too young.
I am old, Nastya.
You're not.
You said envy was a bad thing, Nastya. Huh? But what am I to do? Your mom has you, but my Anna doesn't have a smart girl like you.
Dad.
Don't dad me! 20-year-old won't even think about children. But I would sure like to see grandchildren at my age.
Yeah, you teach them CQC.
Dual-wielding pistols.
I could come visit you.
Of course, you're welcome, Nastya. The thing is, Grandpa Miller won't give up until he has grandchildren of his own.
Hear that, Artyom? I don't even know what else to say. She's beautiful, sporting.
Yeah, I'm Olympic level with a rifle.
I get not having kids in Metro. Darkness, TB, rats, mutations. But what about here?
He's literally begging him for grandkids.
We'll get to work on solving your problem tonight.
At that note, how about a drink? To repopulation of Earth. To kids.
Yes, to children.
To children.
To children.
It's too cool.
And one more toast to the new colony. May it grow and prosper.
This is good.
I love it. I love it.
This is great! They're having more women joining!
Ambrosia.
I never doubted you.
It's awesome.
Yes, Alyosha. I don't think you should be worried about that. If we are successful, there will be people joining us. Honest, good people. I'm sure they survived too.
Well, if any bad people decide to show up, they'll be sorry they did.
Oh, definitely. When we're done with the bad apples here, we might think of something to do about Moscow.
That's true.
Wow, holy shit.
To love!
To love! To love.
Damn, the sun is having a ball today.
It's your turn, Artyom. Come on, impress us.
What?
This heat is just unbearable, I must say.
All right.
Sit with me, Artyom.
What would ye have me do? Oh, guitar time! Hey, girl! Yes! Fuck yes. Oh, we're going old school! Yes! I don't know who they modeled Anna after, but she is gorgeous. I like how there's a bunch of lights and stuff over Anna. Too cool. All the dog tags. I love it, dude. Love every bit of it.
Great, that's a beautiful song. Stepan, play some more.
Stepan, could you give us that one? By Borisich.
My pleasure.
We'll let them listen to some music while we venture forward. Can't save game? That kind of sucks. Demir!
Artyom, I wanted to tell you for some time, but hadn't had a chance. Anna asked if I wanted to stay back then. Sure I did. They were my people, even though I couldn't find any relatives. Besides, there are still lots of bandits to kill there. But the Baron is dead. Now Giul can lead the people. They know those animals can be beaten. Cannon must be beaten. And now they have to fight for their freedom and take it by their own hand. So that not to give it up ever again, despite any odds. Still, the initial push was given by us. By you. I won't forget this, Artyom. And I hope to one day pay this debt back. Kaprak met, brother.
Kaprak met. I love it. I love it. I love the diversity amongst the crew, too. Look at that old hammer and scythe. Alright, moving on. Alright, see if we got anything to say to Yermak. What do you say, my dude? Get here. I love it! This is one of the biggest things that everybody was wanting. Is that a castle? Hey, I didn't know we could go up here. I don't think it let us before. Our train's getting longer. Okay, it's a smoking area. Old paper. Wow. I love it. The game is better, and you determine how good the game is by what you're willing to do and what extra effort you're willing to put into it, whether you're willing to look into things. Oh, look, there's the satellite maps. It's like a maintenance room of some sort. Extra uniforms. But yeah, like, what would the game have been like if they didn't have their guitars? I don't know where they got the second one. I'm sure they procured it somehow throughout different parts of the game. What's crazy is when they were all on just one train and they had no rail car with them. And this was... I just remember when this was Tokarov's workbench area. Then they got the rail car. But old Sam. All the drinks. I want one of those mugs with a big red star on it. Almost has that Soviet era art, which is beautiful because talented people were forced to do shit. Or maybe not necessarily. I dare not speak out of too much ignorance. I don't think there's anything else in here. You can just hear Anna coughing like crazy. I wish I could see what that book says. Someone's playing checkers. Hey!
Hello, Tim.
What's up?
Hello, my friend. As you can see, we're busy with giving the weapons some proper care after the desert.
Yeah, I hate sand, I must say. It's rough and coarse and gets everywhere. Irritates me to no end. So as soon as we got out of that hellhole, I started cleaning and overhaul.
God.
And Duke, being the kind of guy that he is, volunteered to help.
Yeah, volunteered my ass. You're a slave driver, like that Baron.
Well, you shouldn't have taken that shambler for a dive in the sand. It's not a kalash.
I didn't even shoot it afterwards.
Thank God. I don't know if it even will shoot, though. So you, young man, got lucky there. Yes, it is a mystery, really, how those bandits managed to keep their guns working in that desert. Though their gunsmiths are good. That gun you brought back is definitely custom made. A fine job. And it's been well maintained, too. This just warms my heart. I didn't do too poorly either, even if I do say so myself. I've been led to believe that the Tihar with the new ammo worked wonders in your hands.
Oh, it's fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, that it did. Artyom made a fine barbecue there.
Yes, in any case, you don't need to worry about their weapons, Artyom. I'll have them in mint condition by the time we make our next stop.
You are awesome. What's in that?
This sand is something else. This
What's it get?
go, I guess.
Consumables carrier? Hello.
God damn it, it's still dirty. Alright, another hour.
Metal detector, motion scanner.
What the hell? It still doesn't go away.
What is this?
This is almost
Those
perfect.
mugs are everywhere.
This
Time to take a
something
crap.
else. One more go, I guess.
86. No smoking. Oh, this is that ugly old diesel rig. Hey, there's Krusty Boy. Crust. Hey, it's the car. I don't know how we got on here, but that works.
Well, Bratucha,
Hey!
I'm sure gave us all a scare. Oh, but don't you worry. It does look like tuberculosis, but Katya is a real medic. She'll put her back on the feet in no time at all.
Yep, be good to go.
Besides, there's finally something nice ahead. A river, a forest, even a hydroelectric dam. That sounds interesting, but I haven't fixed one yet. So don't worry, Artyomich, everything will be fine. Soon we'll have a chance at normal lives at that valley, you know? Are you and Anna gonna have kids? Artyom, it's about time, Bratucha. Moscow doesn't sound right for those with radiation and all, but the valley, oh, that's the place. And Stepan and Katya would follow suit too, since they're married. We do have to populate the colony, you know. We'll build a good one too, with some skilled people and most importantly, smart people.
Yep.
And we'll surely attract more.
I love it.
And if some assholes decide to crash the party, we'll send them packing in no time with our guys. Of course, that valley needs checking out first. The colonel is absolutely right. But you and Alyosha, you can handle that, no problem. Boy, that cursed mountain? Oh, I had this nasty feeling back then. I even told the colonel why. He was so eager to see that minister of his, he didn't care. Not quite like him, huh?
Jesus.
Well, that's to be expected, you know. Everyone has a string which
makes me remember.
Makes you forget about everything
That's crazy.
else. Tizzy got shot like a dog, and serves him right. Remember how he rushed to fight the Baron? That one was a real bastard, of course. Treating people like that over nothing, yeah, just as bad as the Astrakhan gang. At least he got shot like a dog, and serves him right. Would be nice to wipe out all of his lieutenants. You know what, I'm sure Giuls will handle them just fine. She's not a girl who'd leave a job half done, huh? So what I'm saying is, we weren't roasting in that oven for nothing, huh? We also helped people, besides getting those maps.
Guess you're right.
Well, I think I'll finish with your trophy here. Go prepare the railcar for a recon trip with Alyosha. Speaking of him, I think he wanted to go with you so badly because he also had a feeling, you know, in his usual direction. Look after the Pletcher before he finds his, head stuck somewhere nasty, will you? Still, I have to give it to you, Bratucha. Bringing this beauty here was a stroke of genius. I feel she's going to help us a lot.
I hope so.
Mind you, I'm not trading my railcar for anything in the world, but this baby here is just amazing. Never mind the looks, her engine has been finely tuned and maintained, she's got a strengthened frame and springs, even her brakes are in perfect order. The mechanic's skill and passion are as plain as day here, and I love that. I mean, really, this thing reminds me of my old babe, the one I once drove out of Kadui.
Kadui?
A ton-and-a-half truck from that war had been rusting in a scrapyard for 40 years at least. Ran on firewood like the Aurora. Of course it was more memory than a truck. The cabin was all rotten, plywood don't keep that well. Platform was missing altogether, but the engine with the gearbox and the gas generator was still there. The frame was okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a piece of work. A month without taking a break. But in the end it ran. Then I put the body of the same minibus you have here on the top of the frame. And driving that Frankenbus, I went as far as Astrakhan. Mind you, that thing didn't have more than 30 HP on its birthday. Terrible hassle too. You not just have to chop firewood, you have to make the sticks even and nice, or else it doesn't run well. That's an experience, like heating up a proper sauna. Huh? So I'd spend half a day getting ready, a couple of hours driving. Yeah. Fell in love with that thing. Oi, mamachka. No wonder after all that effort. Still, had to give it to one bastard in Astrakhan. Otherwise, I would have just been killed right there, and that's if I got lucky. Huh?
Wow.
So that's how it went back then. As for this beauty, I'll take good care of her. For all time's sake.
I love
She'll
that
be
it
winning
follows.
every car show we run across, huh? Ain't she a beauty? Ух ты, красавица моя, like a bride on her wedding day. Perfect.
It's ugly, but he loves it because it runs, and that's all that matters.
So, there you have it, bratucha. There you have it.
There it be. Thanks for the talk there, crusty boy. I love that if you move your head to the left or right, the smoke follows Artyom's head, at least where the path is supposed to be. So we found something here on the bench near Crest repair station. Tokarov's note. Crest, I'm writing you a note because I really wouldn't want anyone to overhear. You see, I'm preparing a wedding surprise for Katya and Stefan, and I need your help. I'm making rings for them, and I already have the band to make them out of it. I just need their sizes. Stefan's not a problem after all. I made gloves for all the crew, but I never measured Katya's fingers, and it would be a dead giveaway if I wanted to do it now. I know you have a sharp eye, so perhaps you could get me the size without measuring? I could also use some help buffing the rings once they're soldered, as there's not much time left. Thanks in advance. Tokarov. Nice! Fucking sweet. So I think we've pretty much done everything. Yeah, we're missing 2 postcards in the Caspian. Well, we got every other postcard, we missed 2 in the Caspian, which is sad, but I'll go back and get those later for the sake of achievements. But diary, and there's no postcards on this level, so I think we've spoken. What'd you say? It's like he's giving me a random dialogue because he knows I'm back here. Decent brake pads. It wasn't meant to hold me.
They didn't neglect their maintenance.
No, they... Absolutely. You can usually collect those for spare parts, but they're just kind of letting them sit here. There's Crest Rail Car in the back. And this is just a big, ugly... It's so empty, too.
The brake pads are fine, too.
Tanker. Just a big, empty tanker. This thing was hollowed out. It looks like it used to be a locomotive.
Something else. One more go, I guess. Yes, this is another run.
Is there anything we can do this way? Nope.
Yeah, this is one fine car.
God damn it, it's still
Yep, it's car. I think it's a piece of shit, but back in the day. Oh, hell, look at all these little variants.
Now, having one more go would never hurt.
We don't know what we're going to deal with in the future.
God damn it, it's still dirty. Alright, another rub.
Alright, cool. That's about enough making supplies. The rest we should just
Almost perfect.
collect as we go. Yeah. Oh, nice. My Kalash.
Needs another
What
rub.
the hell? It still doesn't go away.
This is almost perfect.
Well, I guess we can mess with the parts later, so screw it. Let's see if there's anybody else to talk to about anything.
What the hell? It still doesn't.
All right. Well, I think we're about done here. Miller's room is always so clear. He's been reading something. His old hat. It's so fucking cool. I wonder if they'll say anything else to us. Nope, there's no other dialogue. Goodbye, my dear. She's adorable. There we go. Oh, shower. Okay. At least they have all the amenities. Oh, I thought somebody else was out here with him. With Demir. Nope. You just got a calash with a ACOG on it. Look at these old... It looked like an old temple from the Oblivion game. From Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's what it looked like. It was like a shrine to one of the Aedra. I don't know why that came to mind, but it did. Alright, guys. Well, that was it for the summer chapter, and that is it for us coming back to the game. Looks like we're going to go back to exploring the world map. Guys, it is so good to be back, and if you liked the video, feel free to hit like. If you did not, leave a dislike with a reason why. If you're a little disappointed it's taking so long, talk to me about it. I'd be happy to tell you guys in a future video, but for now, I really want to get this Metro Let's Play done. We're going to do it first, and I plan to record something directly after I record this. So guys, until next time, this has been Metro Exodus, the summer chapter. I really enjoyed it because as every chapter in between the main chapters does, it touches more on the Aurora, their stories. We learned a little bit more about Crest. We got to talk to Demir and help to get some closure about his people. A little, like, as much closure as he was going to get because he can't find his family since World War III broke out, you know. So, it was really interesting. It always has been. And we know what our next destination is, in the valley. So, guys, until next time, this has been Metro Exodus, the summer chapter. Next, we'll be heading to, I believe, the Tiaga, also known as the Forest Jungle Valley. I am Euclid, and I will see you guys again very soon in the next video.